Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, so again, people say that there's election fraud because they're seeing something like this. These are not natural ballots. The stiff ballots are not natural ballots. Okay, let's go to the next slide, please. Do you see that empty? This is not marked, but it's sorted. Using the machine, it's sorted to candidate 1, which is the DPK candidate. Okay, next slide, please. So there are, but yet, so they try to hide this, yet the Stop the Steal, this book has become the bestseller recently because people are waking up. So this martial law, what that is doing is it woke people up. They're looking for this information, and then they're realizing that the election fraud is a big issue. The next slide, please. Okay, since I don't have time to get into all the details about the election issue, this is a North Korean leaflet that was found in the trash balloon recently, and it says right there, the only way for people to survive is to impeach Yoon Suk-yeol. This is like North Korea giving instructions to those forces in South Korea to impeach him. The next slide, please. Okay, so these are all the people that are impeached in the executive branch since the martial law. This is what they did. They are attacking and paralyzing the executive branch. This is what the Democratic Party of Korea is doing, weaponizing the National Assembly. Okay, next slide, please. So let's keep going through, like, again, all this: Save Korea, Stop the Steal, support U.S. ROC Alliance, pro-U.S. Next slide. In different places. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. They want China out because they know China's behind this. Next slide. This is just comparison. The one above, pro-U.S., anti-impeachment, and then down here at the bottom, hardly any support. Okay, next slide. You see, this is a pro-impeachment, but there's Palestinian flag, there's rainbow flag. That's not Korean flag. They colored it. Okay, so this is there's some global force that's part of this movement that is trying to impeach Yoon Suk-yeol and destroy freedom of South Korea. Next slide, please. Again, this happened in December, and it says tear down U.S. military, which is behind the insurrection. Again, this is not an ordinary force. Okay, next slide, please. And they tried to block. The police put this bus wall, but people still got through. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is when they lay down to prevent the illegal CIO from trying to arrest President Yoon, which again, it was very illegal. This is what the police did. This is very unusual for South Korean police, usually very, very nice. They're very nice and cordial. This is what something like CCP's police would do. You saw this movement in Hong Kong. But this is not the only one, but this is what's happening in South Korea. Next slide, please. Okay, next slide, since I don't have that much time. So Constitutional Court justices, these 8 people, they are going to decide on the fate of South Korea. They're going to determine whether they are going to reject or accept the National Assembly's impeachment. And how much time do I have? 0. Okay, let's say one thing. A lot of these constitutional justices are left-leaning, very heavily left. In fact, let me quickly say, Moon Hyung-bae, the one on top left, he is the acting justice, acting chief justice. He's close to Lee Jae-myung, and he was recently discovered that he was part of an online group that shared porn, 2,000 of them. And he discovered this during the hearing, during the impeachment hearing, so they had to take a break, and it was extended. The break was extended because he was too busy deleting his online comments that linked to him. I mean, it was extremely embarrassing. Okay, so in conclusion, we have the situation where one party is dominating Korea, South Korea. There's a lawfare. There's no free and fair election in South Korea. But next slide, please. This is what people are afraid of. This is what people are fighting. This communist forces of China and CCP and Democratic Party of Korea and Korean Workers' Party. This is what they're fighting. The next slide. This is the last slide. So people are out there fighting for their freedom. They are pro-US, pro-alliance with the United States, and they're doing what they can. And we should help our ally, the Republic of Korea, help them preserve our shared values. Thank you.